Welcome to QIC-EY Now. No opportunity wasted for making moments matter for children and youth. We are exploring the competency, use a trauma-informed approach, and we're starting right now. A trauma-informed approach recognizes that trauma can impact how children and youth communicate. Child welfare professionals need to create a safe environment for children and youth to help them feel comfortable exploring their permanency options. But what does this really mean? Let's hear an example from a professional with lived expertise.
A lot of times with the children that I work with, placements can be disrupted. Finding permanency can be really difficult. I work a lot with the older youth in our system. And I mean, even recently, I had a child who, we needed to find a new placement because the one he was at, unfortunately, shut down. And because of that, we had found a placement within the area, and he was living outside of our like county. When I told him that we had a placement in that area and talked to him about it and if he'd be comfortable with it, he immediately told me that that's too close to where he grew up and where a lot of the trauma he experienced was. And he said that that would cause him to revert back to certain, issues and behaviors that he had when he lived there. And immediately, I'm so glad that I talked to him about that because I knew that that placement wasn't going to be appropriate. Even though it was a great family, we knew that that wasn't going to be appropriate based on his past trauma. So we had to look elsewhere. And we did find something. But without that kind of conversation with him, we could have put him in a spot that would not have been conducive to his success.
Now that we've heard an example, let's wrap this up with some things you can do to use a trauma-informed approach right now. Recognize that challenging behaviors may be connected to trauma and loss. Use positive, strength-based language throughout the process of addressing behaviors so that children and youth recognize that their value as persons extends beyond their expressions of trauma. To use a trauma-informed approach, you need to understand how trauma and loss affect children and youth based on their emotional, social, and cognitive development. Familiarize yourself with ways to address trauma-related issues that will meet children and youth where they are developmentally. Provide safe spaces for children and youth by letting them know that they are free to process their trauma and loss on their terms and when they are ready. When you respond appropriately to children and youth throughout their healing process, you can help them find their voice, reach their potential, and make sense of their painful experiences. Now is the time to have a trauma-informed approach and to make moments matter for children and youth. The QIC-EY is 100% funded by the Administration for Children and Families of the United States Department of Health and Human Services.